We all have it in our lives. Our lives get hectic, and we need a place to relax, recharge, and prioritize our self care. Well, my next guests have just the place for you to visit. Please welcome the talented star of my favorite Hallmark movies, Taylor Cole, and the owner of the amazing place that I just became aware of, The Farm, located just 45 minutes outside of Nashville, Tennessee, Lizzie Tucker. Thank you both for joining me today.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us, Nicole.
Absolutely. So the first question is for Lizzie. Can you tell me a little bit about how you got involved with the farm and how you became to purchase it? I mean, listening to your story, it really is like a Hallmark, straight out of a Hallmark movie. So you kind of tell me a little bit about how you got involved with this amazing place.
Absolutely, Nicole. So the farm, as you mentioned, is a business that's located outside of Nashville. We refer to it as a wellness escape, and it's a place where people come to focus on a reset, whatever that might mean for them at that moment in their life. As you mentioned, I am now the owner of the business. However, I was a previous guest of an earlier, what I say is an earlier iteration of the business. So the business used to be called Fit Farm. It was a fitness retreat that was open for about 8 years. And I came to learn about Fit Farm through my aunt, who was planning a visit, and it was super serendipitous. I was going through a very challenging sort of period in my life. I am a senior leader in human resources. So while I am the owner of the farm, I have a full-time day job, senior executive in HR at a large insurer. And I was just going through a lot. This was back in March 2022. I asked for a leave of absence from work. I was completely burnt out. I was dealing with anxiety and depression. I had put on a lot of weight, and my aunt happened to be going to Fit Farm for an extended stay, really because she wanted to get out of the big city and into the country. And she said, Lizzie, why don't you come with me? And so I ended up going to Fit Farm, and I fell in love with it. I fell in love with the place. I fell in love with the people, and really invested in my own health and wellness. And over the past 2.5 years before the business was closed, I visited Fit Farm almost probably more than 20 times. And it was really a place where I went to reset and recharge and keep myself accountable to my health and wellness. And so when the owner shared that she was closing the previous business, I approached her about taking it over, and less about keeping it open for me, but more about this really special and magical place that I know can help so many people. And so really, I am a past guest of the business. I took it over. And so it's been really exciting. We opened back in April of this year, and we've made some enhancements, some changes, taking a much more holistic approach on the business. And so that's sort of my story.
That's awesome. And like you said, you took a holistic approach. I really love the program you designed, focused on balanced nutrition, fitness, education, self-care, self-love. Can you kind of give an idea for those who maybe want to participate in this program? What kind of is like a day-to-day aspect of it, and what can they expect when they visit your amazing wellness retreat?
So the business or the experience is set on this beautiful 200-acre property. So when I talk about the wellness escape, I talk about it's really about the place. So the property is beautiful, rolling hills, great facilities. So the place is really special. The programming is pretty incredible. And to your point, Nicole, it's a mix of fitness and movement, balanced nutrition, and what we talk about is self-care, self-love, regenerative modalities, etc. And then the people. I mean, when people come to the farm, they all comment on the amazing community of both wellness professionals. We have a fabulous team that really takes care of each other and our guests, but also the fellow guests that are there at the wellness retreat and escape to take care of themselves. So we talk about the place, we talk about the program and the people. Guests, particularly first-time guests, typically join us for a week-long stay, so Sunday through Sunday, or they join us for what we refer to as a weekend warrior, which is Thursday through Sunday. But I will mention we also have day pass programs, so people that just want to come out for a day. And we also have many guests who decide to really invest in their health and wellness and they have extended stays. So I've got an individual that's at the farm right now who's been here for 4 months. There's, a couple of people that are here for a couple of weeks. So it sort of runs the gamut. And to your point around the programming, guests can expect from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. every day a whole host of different things. So everything from functional movement to cardio to weightlifting to yoga, boxing, spinning, aqua aerobics, pickleball, axe throwing, but also communal meals, like really nice communal meals that are macros balanced, that are according to your caloric intake. And then also, to your point, some self-care and education intervention. So we've got an incredible team of professionals who meet with our guests, talk about nutrition, talk about building lean, muscles over 50, talk about, what's the importance of macros and how do you build a sustainable meal plan when you get home. And then we also have things like, sauna and massage and one-on-one sessions that can be sprinkled throughout the day. So it's really 7 to 7 programming. You can opt in to enjoy as much of the programming as you like or as little. And what's great is that we really say it's really about you and whatever your journey is. So whether you're here to rest and relax, you're here to work on mobility and strength and longevity, you're here to lose weight. The team really meets our guests where they are and helps them build the right program for them.
That is absolutely amazing. Now, I kind of want to bring Taylor in here. I know you've been friends with Lizzie for a while. Can you tell us how you connected and your connection with the farm and how you got your Hallmark family involved? This is really kind of a neat story, and I'm excited to hear you talk about that.
Fun. Yeah, Lizzie actually contacted me, and what I thought was a closed business, on Instagram said, "You want to come back out to the farm?" And I said, "I would love to, absolutely."
Mhm.
And I have lifelong friends from going before. I think I've been 2 or 3 times before. The first one I was invited because of like a gifting suite, so I
Mhm.
was gifted going, and then I was going through just a hard time and struggles with my fertility journey, and I realized I needed to be around these people who are focused on their health and wellness. I got diagnosed with Hashimoto's. I couldn't have gluten or dairy, and I was pretty traumatized. I was shooken. I was
Yeah.
to the core, didn't know what to do and where to turn. And I just thought of, oh, this is the place I need to be. I need to be around like-minded people, giving back to themselves, focusing on their wellness. And it was perfect for me. So when she said, "Do you want to come back?" I'm still going through what I was going through. It's been a
Right.
3-year journey. So I absolutely took her up on the offer, and I brought a friend of mine who loves fitness, which I highly recommend. You've got that friend. Everybody's got that friend that, and she, you look over at her and she's like, "This is awesome. This is the best day ever." I love that attitude. I need you. That's great. And also, what I think is beautiful about the program is it's not a military boot camp. Nobody's kicking you out of bed in the morning. If you want to sleep in, you sleep in. Lizzie has some people who come there to get work done. I mean, to not have to cook for yourself, to not have to, do laundry. I mean, I guess you do have to do laundry eventually, but just those day-to-day life activities that are draining and exhausting. You're like, really get to full-heartedly focus on myself. And that's really hard to do. Even on vacation, you're probably planning something or doing they've got it all planned out for you. And if it's not for you, you stay home or you pick another activity. There's rest and relaxation scheduled into the program. So it is what you want, and it's whatever you make of it. So I think that part is really beautiful. But anyway, with my Hallmark family, I went to the farm and I had the best time, and I posted all about it. And then it was summertime, and Lacey said, "Do you want to come back out?" And I was just, I was visiting my grandma's, her birthday. I couldn't make it out that month, but then I started thinking, I've got a whole host of beautiful souls who absolutely love working out and want to give back. And just the title alone of a news story, Hallmark stars save the farm before Christmas. The fact that it's called The Farm is hysterical. It's
I
perfect. I
know,
was
it's
like, I can't
perfect.
get away from this like opportunity. This is
Exactly.
perfect. And then of course I reached out to everybody in the Hallmark world and everybody's like, yes, 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 absolutely. So whoever, contacted Lizzie is headed out there, and there's future things that they're also setting up. I know that Autumn wanted to do like a retreat. Potentially, Andrew wants to get a big group together for, it's a huge property. There's limitless options. And, I think Lizzie's really taken it and run with it. So I'm very happy to be involved.
That is so awesome, and it's amazing. Like you said, it was just too perfect to bring your Hallmark family and this beautiful, picturesque property that has such a great mission behind it to bring together. I mean, it basically is like a Hallmark movie. I mean, I watch Hallmark all the time, obviously, but it's just I was listening and was listening to you and watching what you were on Instagram, following you, of course, and I was just like, this is I never heard about it. Being from Iowa myself, we do have beautiful area in Iowa, but we don't have a lot of wellness retreats or anything like that. So I was really intrigued by that. And the fact that you bring in your Hallmark family, it really is like a Hallmark family. And it's amazing. And my understanding is that some of the stars will be announced in a coming, in soon throughout now. And I think through early December, I believe. And then you also have some that are just going to be surprising and coming in unannounced, which I love because you never know if you will be, working out next to a Hallmark star or doing yoga next to a Hallmark star. But also the mission of being there for your own self to really kind of self-love, self-care, to feel good. And that's basically the mission of Hallmark is you get that feel good, the feeling when you watch those movies. So I love that. And I know so my next question is for those who want to know more about the how to book a stay or more about some of the programs. Lizzie, can you tell me a little bit about how they can book or how they can contact you, even to get like a day pass, so to speak?
Yeah. I would refer people that are interested in visiting us to our website. So it's www.thefarmtn.com. So the farm and TN as in Tennessee. And on there, you can book a stay. You can see how to connect to us on socials. We've also got our phone number and email address out there. So the best place to go is out to our website.
Also, something that we didn't talk about is the technology that you guys have. They take your RMR, which is your resting metabolic heart rate, and you get to see the progress, not just uh, you know just your physical form, but just the things that your body is going through, and the progress is trackable and it's beautiful, and you learn so much. There's nutrition courses, and they have a staiku which you stand on, and it measures everything to down to you could see where your body is hanging on to things or losing things, and it's just
Me.
every week you can see the progress, and it's so motivating and it's so great, depending on what your goal is. Like, I want more muscle, so I was like, oh my gosh, I've gained leg mass or whatever it is. It's just everybody's goal is trackable and it's beautiful.
And it's so important because you also have that aspect of having people that are cheering you on. They may not
Yes.
the same thing, but they're all there for a reason. They all have a common goal of enriching their lives. And I think it's so important to kind of have that group. I mean, I've gone on my weight loss journey, lost 50 pounds recently. And so having that, having my friends, my family cheer me on is so important. And I don't think I could have achieved that without that. So this having that tied in, not only are you getting the metrics, but you're also getting that motivation, that camaraderie. And like you said earlier, Taylor, you made lifelong friends, and I love
Oh
that.
yeah. It's a bonding experience for sure. Yeah. And everybody does. I've got buddies on my watch, and I can see them when they're working out. And that's another whole nother class that we take, which is called accountability and, helping each other. And you've got really like a whole cheer system. It's like summer camp, but for like adults who want to take care of themselves. But you're just having so much fun. I like to be tricked into working out. That's what
Right.
I like to call it.
Really, really
So,
good.
we're going on hikes, and we're axe throwing and going for a bike ride and different things throughout the day, mixed in with the wild classes doing, I don't even know, what are the pistol squats? I was like, wow, we're,
Wow.
you know, So if you can do it, you do it. If you don't, I was watching my friend do the pistol squats while I was recording because I was like, I think I'll sit this exercise out. But it's got from every different to
Love
the fittest of the fit to somebody who's never done it before. The trainers know what they're doing. Everybody's educated and so patient and beautiful. And it's just they've got everything. It's great for every single walk of life, which is beautiful.
and
Yeah,
like
Taylor, just to chime in on a couple of things you said. So I think the community aspect of the farm is really the differentiator. And so Nicole, in terms of accountability, one of the things that we do is we keep people connected on a Facebook group where we promote virtual workout classes, or we post information about recipes, or we try to encourage and motivate, our guests. So that's a big component. I think Taylor, hit the nail on the head. Like, people become lifelong friends. Like, the friends that I have made at Fit Farm and now the farm are some of the most important people in my life, right? Because they were there for me during a very difficult and vulnerable time. So I think that is something that people are not quite expecting when they come and they walk away with these friends and these connections. And one of the things that people will see when they come and visit the farm is there's so many returning guests because it's such a special place, and people come back and they coordinate their trips around each other. And then the only other thing I wanted to mention, and Taylor, I appreciate you bringing up the testing and, our credentialed trainers. One of the things that I'm most proud of is the fact that we really do customize around our guests. So it's everything from, if you have a dietary restriction, our kitchen is all over it. We have a great registered dietitian. We have a fabulous chef. So that's really customizable. We have a woman who's the head of hospitality who runs the business and the operation like a champ, and there's no need that goes unmet, right? So she makes sure that people have got a cold towel after they're working out, or we've got beautiful, fruit water and inspirational stickers. I mean, it's all about making you feel really special. And then our training team is just phenomenal in terms of meeting people where they are, injury prevention, helping with mobility. We've got people from 18 to 85 that come to the farm, and we are able to care for each and every person. And at the end of the day, we make you feel like $1,000,000. We make you feel like there's nothing that you can't conquer. And that's when people really rest, reset, transform, have breakthroughs, when they're comfortable and they feel supported. It's a really special and it's a really safe place for people. And I think in today's world, it's even more important given everything that's going on. So just wanted to add in a couple more things on the back of Taylor's comments.
And when you leave the farm, you've done all of these activities. You've really focused on yourself, and you go home and you're like, oh, I can work out for an hour. I worked out for 7 hours or whatever challenge you were doing there.
right.
Everything is easy at home. You're like, so that reset, that mind, body, spirit connection where you're just like, yeah, I can do all of these things. I am greater than my fears and all the bull that we pile up on ourselves. And then you go home and you know, I've got this. I watched myself do this for a whole week. I'm inspired by me. You know what I mean? So it's just a launching pad for just anything and everything you want.
I love that. Going off of that, I know this place is for truly, like we talked about, healing the mind, body, and soul. Can each of you kind of give a takeaway of what you hope each visitor takes away? I know we kind of probably already kind of hinted on that, but kind of what your hope is for each visitor who obviously wants to come back and continue their journey. But what kind of you hope that they take with each trip that they come?
I mean, back to that mental state of just I can do anything. You know what I mean? That relentless, I believe in myself and I got this. So I just think that confidence, that fearless mindset and that reset for everybody's body because we all need something sometimes.
Definitely.
That, Taylor, I think for me it's about feeling good, right? Whatever that means for that individual. And I talk about the fact that we're not on this earth to suffer or to be stressed or to feel bad about ourselves. Like, I think someone like me who's constantly putting a lot of pressure on myself to deliver, whether it's for my job or my family, I often forget, like, it's also just about feeling good, right? Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, like whatever that is. So that's what I hope for people that leave, that they are reminded that that's what we're on this earth to do, and that they take a little piece of that with them and feel good when they get back home. And to Taylor's point, realize that they can sort of conquer anything that's in front of them.
Absolutely, because a lot of it is that mental block where if they do take the time, they feel like they're selfish in a lot of ways, like, "Oh, I'm sacrificing this and this and this." And I think visiting this place tells them that, you are a priority just as much as everybody else in your life is a priority. It's okay to put yourself and take care of yourself, but also prioritize yourself because you have to be at your best self in order to be your best self with everybody else and to make sure you're helping everybody else. And I love that that's kind of that is the message that you're bringing to the
Put your mask on first. I feel like that's what I've learned through my fertility journey is that I enjoy giving to people. I enjoy giving back. That makes my heart happy.
Mhm.
But if I'm not taking care of myself, there's no possible way that I can give back in the way that I love to. So yeah, taking care of yourself is a necessity. It is a hands down must for every other point in your life. You gotta take care of yourselves.
Absolutely. And so I just want to thank you both for joining me today. Is there anything that we didn't cover that you'd like to address? I know that this is such an incredible place. I want to get as much information as I can for out there to my listeners. And is there anything that you'd like to add, both of you, before we adjourn, so to speak?
No, I mean, all I would say, I don't know, Taylor, if you have any closing comments, but what I would say is don't be afraid to ask for help and ask for what you need, right? And so, sure, you could go on a beach vacation or you could go to Europe, but it might be what you need is to take some time away, invest in yourself, focus on your health and wellness, and it'll pay dividends. But don't be afraid to ask, right? I think going to our website, taking a look around. If you want to talk to me or any member of the team, you have questions, feel free to do that. But I would just say it's okay to ask for help, and take the plunge and focus on yourself.
I agree 100%. I think you could go on that trip to Europe or you could go take a staycation and you know, go to get a massage, but it only is temporary. It's not something that's lifelong or giving you tools for lifelong. And I believe the farm, just by our conversation, gives you the tools for that lifelong journey. And so I thank you both for joining and I look forward to visiting you both on the farm.
Sounds great. We're ready for you, Nicole.
Yeah.
You both
Thank you
have
so much for having us.
Thank you. You both have a great rest of your day.
All right.
Bye.